Jeffrey Epstein didn't just abuse young girls. He built an empire on their pain. He groomed them, trafficked them, and passed them around to the rich and powerful like they were disposable. And when the truth started closing in, he died, alone in a federal jail cell. No cameras, no witnesses, just silence. Years later, the files that could expose his network are still locked away. The names, the evidence, the truth buried. Why? And now this shocking development, the sudden death of Roy Black, Epstein's top defense lawyer. Is it just coincidence, or is there more to the story? In today's episode, we're tearing the mask off the Epstein operation and asking, who are they protecting? Welcome to Just for Sherry, where we give commentary that goes where others won't. What makes the Epstein case so disturbing is that it involved children. And still, up to now, we haven't gotten answers on who the major players were in this grand scheme of a crime that was being committed by Epstein. When we ask questions, people say, oh, it's a conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory? You gave us an explanation that doesn't make sense. We ask questions about it, and then we get shut down. What did you expect? Did you expect us to just keep quiet? Of course we're going to ask more questions. It's not really adding up. How did a man who did not come from an elite background, who did not come from an Ivy League school, who as far as we know was just a normal person, become so rich, so powerful? How? How did it happen? How did he get away with so many things for all these years without any kind of repercussion? How? We're just wanting answers. That's all.
Victims were given cash payments if they could bring other underage girls to be similarly abused. And that's how he continued to expand the number of new victims.
Epstein was a wealthy financier who moved in the world's most powerful circles. He had homes in New York, Paris, Florida, and a private island in the Caribbean. Photos show him smiling with presidents, royals, and billionaires. But behind the luxury was a dark empire built on the exploitation of underage girls. He didn't just abuse them, he recruited others to bring in more girls. Court documents, flight logs, and personal records still remain sealed or redacted. Public pressure for transparency hit a peak last year when lawmakers pushed for full disclosure. Yet even now, key details remain locked away. Many are asking, if justice is truly being served, why are these files still secret? Epstein was friends with a lot of rich, influential people, billionaires and royalties and all of that. And I do not believe that just because people were friends with him that it meant that they were guilty or that they were guilty by association. I don't see it that way. I don't think about it that way. However, be transparent. Tell us the nature of your friendship. Tell us what you knew and what you suspected, what you did not know. Just tell us, because when you let more questions linger, people start to assume the worst. And I think that's the major thing that we see happening here with all the names that are being brought out. And people say, this person may have been involved, this person may have also committed crimes. We just need transparency. That's really what it is. Epstein was first investigated in 2005. Over 30 victims came forward. But in 2008, he struck a secret plea deal, 13 months in a private wing of a county jail. No major names exposed, no federal trial, just silence again. Then in 2009, he was arrested again. This time, the charges were more serious: sex trafficking of minors. The evidence was overwhelming: witness testimonies, photos, hard drives, flight logs. And just weeks later, he was found dead in his jail cell. Suicide, they said. But the cameras malfunctioned, and the guards were asleep. Do you believe that? Only 13 months in jail. And then after that, when more charges were brought, he was mysteriously found dead. Now, I don't know what happened in there, okay? I don't know if it was suicide, as they tell us, if it wasn't, and there's some sort of a cover-up, or even if it wasn't either of the two. I mean, some people are speculating that how are we even 100% sure he's actually dead? I'm not saying that that's the case, but again, it's just people asking questions. When there's so much secrecy around everything surrounding this guy, people start to not trust anything that is being said to us. It is very, very convenient that just when more charges were being brought, that would have probably made a lot of things come to light that some people did not want to come to light. He was found dead. I'm just saying. It's just way too many coincidences, guys. Too many coincidences. Just too many. That's what I think.
Since Epstein's death, the focus has shifted to the files. Court documents, depositions, logs, photos, names. Some files have been unsealed, but most remain locked away, citing privacy, legal protections, and ongoing investigations. The public keeps asking, if no one else did anything wrong, why are the files still hidden?
After all the fuss and noise that was made around these files, all of a sudden, they tell us there are no files to be released. Okay. You see, I wouldn't have had a problem with it if there hadn't been so much momentum around the release of the files. Now it looks suspicious. Now it looks like you're trying to protect someone or some people. Now it looks like you're lying to us straight to our faces. It does not look truthful. It goes back to what I was saying from the beginning. This is not about a conspiracy theory. I do not know what is in these Epstein files. But when you tell us that you're going to release these files, or you're going to release a list, that the list is on your table or whatever you tell us, and then all of a sudden there are no files to be released, and the ones that we have seen are all redacted, so we've seen nothing, right? Yeah, it raises questions. It raises questions like, who exactly are you trying to protect? It raises questions like, is this really about one man, or is it about a network? About a network of people who are very powerful and influential and are above the law. It gets us wondering if this is what this is about. We just want answers. What is the truth?
In 2021, Epstein's longtime associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, was convicted for recruiting and grooming underage girls for him. That confirmed what many already knew. This was a network. But here's the thing. She was convicted of trafficking girls to someone, and yet, to this day, not a single client has been arrested. No trial, no names, no accountability.
Ghislaine Maxwell is sitting in jail for trafficking young girls. But we haven't been told who she was trafficking them to. How could she be in jail, but not the people who were involved in the trafficking with her, who were probably higher up in the chain of command? How is that possible? She seems like the fall guy here. She seems like, yeah, we just needed to put someone in jail, so we're going to put her. That's what it looks like. It's not possible that she would have done all of those things alone. Who was she trafficking to? Who? Who protected her all these years and made it possible for her to be able to do this without getting caught? Who? Who are the people that were doing these horrible things with these underage girls? Who are the people? Why are they being protected? Why hasn't she said more? We're hearing that she may testify or something like that. I'm not counting on that. But it's interesting. If she was trafficking young girls to powerful men, right? That's what allegedly is out there. Wouldn't you have asked her who she was trafficking them to? And if you asked her, you got the answers, but you don't want us to know the answers. You see, I understand when certain things need to be kept secret because, there are bigger things involved and all of that, but then you have to somehow be transparent about that too. I think, again, it goes back to, don't tell us there's nothing to see here when it's obvious that there's something to see. That just leads people to asking more questions. But if you are, to an extent, sincere with us and tell us, look, we can't go too deep in this because this and because that, some of us are going to let it go. Some of us are just going to be like, okay. Some of us, not all of us. But this whole idea of there's nothing to see, there's nothing there, then why is Ghislaine Maxwell in jail if there's nothing to see?
Add this. Roy Black, Epstein's defense attorney, suddenly dies at 80, reportedly of illness, but with little detail provided. Roy Black was no ordinary lawyer. He represented high-profile clients, from celebrities to billionaires, and was hailed as one of the greatest defense attorneys in modern history. With his passing, questions are swirling online, especially given how deeply he was connected to the Epstein's legal battles. Is this just natural, or is it another thread in a story already filled with mystery?
Now, we do not know for sure that there was foul play in this lawyer's death, and I am not saying that. But you do understand why people are suspicious, right? With all the secrets that are being kept and all the coincidences in this case, why would you not expect people to suspect foul play even in this case? And that is his lawyer's death. And again, I don't know. I just want to say that. But what another coincidence.
In 2024 and 2025, public pressure grew again. Bipartisan leaders, independent journalists, and even Elon Musk began calling for full transparency. Lawsuits keep naming names, but those documents are either sealed, redacted, or quietly ignored. Meanwhile, survivors are speaking out. Some of them were just 14 years old when Epstein's network reached them.
You know the saddest part? It's the survivors still haven't been able to find closure from this case. All those young kids that were victims of these heinous crimes have not found justice. For a lot of us, it's just something we talk about, it's something we wonder about, but for them, it's something more. For them, it's something that has marked their lives in ways that I don't know if they'll ever truly be free from. And the least that should have been done for them, and that should be done for them, is to get them some sort of closure and some sort of accountability. And I don't think that has happened yet.
So here's where we are. Epstein is dead. Many of his alleged co-conspirators remain unnamed. Critical documents remain sealed. And now his key lawyer is gone. Whether it's coincidence or something more sinister, what we're witnessing is a case where transparency has been resisted at every turn, and people are not forgetting.
The Epstein files could reveal who knew what and who joined in. But the longer they stay sealed, people are going to continue to ask, who and what are you protecting? I want to hear from all of you. What is your opinion in the Epstein case? Should the files be released? Do you think there's more to this case, or is it just a conspiracy theory? Tell me what you think. Go to the comment section. And as you do that, like, share, and subscribe, guys. And God bless you all. Can't wait to see you all next week. Bye, guys.